Good evening. My name is Abimbola Shadipe. With me here today is Salome, Esther Felix, and Adetutu Ikpaye. We'll be discussing the integrating social media listening, social media and influencer marketing strategy for two brands, Tim Hortons and Starbucks. A quick overview of our agenda for today. We have segmented it into introduction, brand watch analysis, social media campaign, influencer strategy, and a conclusion, which comprises of our recommendations, our thoughts, and everything. Starbucks overview. Starbucks is a globally recognized coffee house chain known for its premium coffee, distinctive store ambience, strong brand identity, and customer experience. Founded in 1971 in Seattle, Washington, the company has gone to become a leader in the coffee industry with thousands of locations worldwide. According to Statista, Starbucks is a strong competitor in the industry due to its extensive global presence, innovative products, and loyal customer base. Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons is a Canadian icon with over 4,800 locations worldwide. According to Restaurants Brand International Incorporation 2024, Tim Hortons dominates the Canadian market with a 60% share in coffee categories. The unique selling point for Tim Hortons is its affordability and community-centric approach, making it a daily staple for Canadians. Statista also show that Tim Hortons has Brand Finance 2024 illustrate that Tim Hortons owns the 7th brand value position among restaurants brand worldwide. We further compare the unique selling proposition between Starbucks and Tim Hortons, and we now itemize it into unique selling proposition, the price point, and the customer experience. So for Starbucks, we viewed it due to they have premium coffee, customer experience, innovation, sustainability, loyalty program. So with high quality and ethically sourced coffee brand, Tim Hortons is the preferred choice. Social media presence. A review of the social media presence of both brands identified that we have Starbucks have over 17 million followers on Instagram, over 3 million followers on Facebook, and over 10 million followers on Twitter. Tim Hortons, on the other hand, have over 500,000 followers on Instagram, over 3 million followers on Facebook, and over 648,000 followers on Twitter. Their engagement level differs. So for Starbucks, they have social media engagement rates as a frequent rate, likes, comments, and posts, active user interaction through stories, live sessions, and user-generated content. While for Tim Hortons, they have moderate engagement with consistent likes and comments through though they are not frequent like Starbucks, they focuses more on community-centric posts, Canadian culture team. The most interactive platform for both brands is Twitter, which is now called X. This is a few snapshots of the social media posts for both brands. As you can see from this post, you can see the first post from Starbucks has over 36 million likes, while the first post for Instagram have over just 3 million likes. We further went ahead to do the head-to-head report of both brands, and our analysis, we focus our analysis on duration of July 26th to August 9th. From our analysis, we realized that the engagement level for Tim Hortons is about 1,000, above 1,000 engagement per post, while for Starbucks, they have above 16,000 engagement per post. This is due to their frequency in posting. Starbucks also have at least one post per day, while Tim Hortons have 0.50 per day. This is a brief comparison of both posts showing the visuals, the graphics, and you can see from the likes and comments, the engagement level of both brands. We also did the head-to-head review of both brands on Facebook, on their Facebook post, and we highlighted that, okay, Starbucks have about 4 posts per week, while Tim Hortons have about 2 posts per week. The engagement level also shows that Starbucks have above 1,000 engagement per post, while Tim Hortons have 567 engagements per post. These are few snapshots of posts from the two brands showing the engagement level. You could see the reactions, the like, the comments, and the shares, and the rest. So we went ahead and so the social media comparison between both brands, we can say that the follower counts, Starbucks leads significantly in follower counts across all the major platforms, indicating a broader global reach and a strong online presence. The engagement level for Starbucks also have higher rates with more interactive and visually appealing content. Tim Hortons engage well within his niche, but they focus on Canadian culture and community. The content strategy also differs. Starbucks frequent updates with new product launch, sustainability initiatives, and user-generated content, creating a dynamic and engaging feed for its followers and likes. While Tim Hortons emphasize traditional value, community involvement, maintaining a consistent and relatable brand image. The most interactive platform for both brands is Twitter, like earlier said. My colleague Salom will take it up from here. Over to you, Salom.
Thank you so much, Abimbola. So I'll be running you through the power of social listening for our two brands, Starbucks and Tim Hortons. Our location will be Canada, and our date range will be 1st of June to August 8, 2024. We're doing this so that we can know the perspective of people about this brand, what people are saying on social media, how the brand is being perceived, so we can create a campaign to either counter this feeling or either to boost it based on the results we get from this social listening. So we'll be looking at the sentiment analysis. Looking at it here, we notice that it has a spike in mentions on the 17th of July. Overall, it has a total mention of over 17,000 for Starbucks, and then it has over 9,000 autos for Starbucks as well. Then for the sentiment and emotion analysis, we notice that it has the negative sentiment increasing by 34%, and it's also higher with about 90K for Starbucks. And then the positive is increasing, although it's lower at 20K. Then going to the way people perceive their emotions. By looking at the emotions here, we notice that the joy emotion is on the rise at 18%, which is the highest, but it's on the rise. But what is high, have the highest rising rates for us here is fear with over 100%. Then surprise is the least, although it's on the increase with 80%. This is just a general overview of what I mentioned earlier, but significantly for us here is the spike on the 17th. It was due to people surrounding rumors and saying that them associating with the Republican National Convention, there was a narrative of people to boycott Starbucks and thinking that they have a political alignment. So that was part of the major surge for the negative sentiments online. Then the online behavior analysis. With this analysis, we can tell when they have the highest engagement, when it's best for them to post, because we're doing this so we can know what to do next. We noticed that from the engagements for Starbucks, that the best days and the days that they have the highest engagement is on Wednesdays, followed by Tuesdays. Then for the time, 1 a.m. is the best time they have engagements, and then from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., they also have a good engagement at that time too. So I'm going to look at the mentions and the engagements here. So there are so many mentions and engagements. This is just a snapshot of some of them so far. We highlight one of gluten-free doll, that's Sandra, how she retweeted something said by the GF blog about the gluten-free pumpkin spice being back again. And then we also see that people are still talking about the Republican National. We'll still highlight more on this retweet by gluten-free doll. Gluten-free doll retweeted GF blogger, and all is still about the gluten-free here. Then engagement analysis, we notice that the engagement peaks around 17, after 17, that should be around 18 to 24th of June. Then the rest engagements have not been so stable. And then it peaked a little again on the 27th of July. For our key themes and trends, we noticed that the three things that are trending from our analysis were the pumpkin spice latte, which you said Sandra spoke about earlier, and then the gluten-free blog spoke about earlier. So it's one of the major conversations people are having. And then the Republican National Convention is one thing people are talking about as well. And then how they are saying they're going to boycott Starbucks for that reason. And then the coffee chain conversation, people are saying generally that Starbucks is leading in the coffee chain industry. Here's a tweet also to highlight what we just said about the pumpkin spice. Another person, Nicholas Even, also said something about the pumpkin spice as well. So our trending post, back to what we said earlier. So going further to see what gluten-free retweeted, we saw that it was by Sandra. So Sandra said something about the pumpkin spice latte in the UK. She said it's for people to notice that Starbucks being to cater for everybody and everyone is not going to be one-sided, and people that are gluten-free now can patronize Starbucks. This took our attention because it had over 1,700 impressions indicating strong interest on gluten-free. So from the analysis, we noticed that majority of our authors, 62% precisely, were male. So 12% are political, that's their top interest. And the family and parents interest people were 12%. Then for professions, we noticed that the artists had the highest with 24%. Then we have the executives, the teachers and lecturers, and then we have the journalists. Then 100% of them, that's out of the 3,540 people were Canadians. So our recommendation for Starbucks. So based on this, we noticed that Starbucks should look more into the seasonal products of the pumpkin spice latte because it's now a major driver of conversations. They should utilize the product for strategic launching of agencies, campaigns, and then make people get rewards and then membership for this. And then they could also improve more vegan options to cater for diverse preferences. Highlighting the gluten-free retweet again that she tweeted Sandra's post and demand for gluten-free options, saying that they could expand their range for us. That's what we're recommending because we notice that people are interested in it. They should expand their range of gluten-free products or better promote existing options so that people will know that they have availabilities in more locations. Then for us to address the negative spike in sentiment is one thing I will also recommend because it's on the high. So reducing it and then addressing it is very important. We noticed that this was narrowed down to the satisfaction of customer service. Some people complained of how their request of no ice was handled wrongly. So handling that is very important. And in order to guarantee constant service quality, Starbucks should consider they do enhanced training for their staff, and then they should particularly train people on how to manage customers, orders, and their requests. I'll go to Tim Hortons. Looking at Tim Hortons sentiment analysis is not as one peak point as that of Starbucks because theirs had a lot of peak areas, although the highest here for us was also 17th of July. It had over 24,000 mentions and over 10,000 unique photos. So for the sentiment and emotional analysis here, we noticed that the neutral is the highest here with 14K, and then it's still on the increase by 5%, and then positive is on the increase, it's on the decrease by 16%, and it's the lowest so far. When we looked at our emotions, we noticed that the highest emotion here was joy, and then joy is on the increase by 9%. Then surprise here is on the decrease by 14%, and it's the least for Tim Hortons. So overview here is what I generally just explained earlier. But our peak point here is our spike on the 17th of July. Also, just like Starbucks, Tim Hortons has a spike on the 17th of July, which is about the Tim Hortons Camp Day coming up. The safety precautions, and people are talking about how they're going to give 100% of the proceeds of what they sell from their coffee and iced coffee directly to the Tim Hortons Foundation for supporting of the youth in the area. So online behavior, this is to tell us how people react to posts by Tim Hortons, when they react, the best days, and then the best hours. So we noticed that the best days for Tim Hortons is Wednesday. Then the second best day again for them to post will be on a Thursday. Then the best time again, just like Starbucks, is 1 a.m. Then around 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. is another good time to post for Tim Hortons. That's when they had their peak engagement. So for mentions and engagement here, so we just highlighted some posts of what people are saying about Tim Hortons. We noticed how people are saying something about someone using the parking lot a lot here. So we had to look deep into it. We noticed how people are talking about their employees not being satisfied, and then how some people are talking about their donuts being handled without gloves as well. So the engagement here is just a visual representation of the graph of how people are talking about then the spike, how it goes high, it comes low, and then the highest was still around the 10th of July to 12th of July as well here. Then the key themes and trends, we noticed that there are three key themes here, the Hamilton Tiger Cat, and then the Tim Hortons parking lot, and then the Tim Hortons Park Day. The Hamilton Tiger Cat was basically people referring to sponsorship during the CFL season with Tim Hortons and the Hamilton Tiger Cats crew. Then again, another thing was the Tim Hortons parking lot. This one had a lot of spike everywhere too. We're discussing various experience, both negative, but the majority of it was people seeing someone using the parking lot to defecate. Someone said he also noticed that it's not AI generated because he has done his research and it's 100% real. Then again, another major thing was the Hortons Camp Day. Everyone was talking about it, how it's good for them to take 100% of their sales to help the disadvantaged youth and generate widespread community engagement. So for our trending post, we're going to pick the post by DDS Notes. We picked this post because it had a very high impression of over 4,568. So wanted to know what was there. We noticed that she has a wide outreach, and this is something that she was concerned about. She said since we're kindergarten, they make her pick up 30 cups, 30 use Tim Hortons cup, and this is what she noticed that is still going on. So she's concerned about disposal of used Tim Hortons cup. So our target audience here now is going to be male again, because most of the authors, 67% of the authors were male. And then the family and parenting, people that are interested in family and parenting had the highest here, 14%. People that were artists who had the highest here again, 24%, just like StarBucks. Then 100% Canadian. The total number of unique authors were 9,932. So recommendation for Tim Hortons, again, we're going to make sure that they try to promote the iced coffee, because people are talking about and it's one of the major drivers of their conversations and engagements. They should strengthen their market presence and positive brand perception, and then they should capitalize on that product. Then one thing we noticed was for them to also make sure that they address the concerns raised by DDS Notes and the disposal of waste, for Tim Hortons to be an eco-friendly brand, because this is a major concern. Apart from it being disturbing, waste disposal is a major thing they should look into to reduce and have a proper way of disposing their waste. They can come up with reusable cups. They can come up with campaign rewards for people to return their cups and get something in return. Major thing for them to do again, how we will recommend, is for them to address the spiking negative comments. This is from the poor hygiene again, and then lack of customer service, and then the poor product quality, according to what people are saying. By addressing this, they will enhance quality control. They should put measures in place for environmental hygiene. They should also improve their staff training and engage with all these dissatisfied customers online, so that they will help to reduce the impact of the negative mentions. Engage with them and then help see where they're coming from and how you're going to sort things out. I'll be handing over to handle the social listening as a foundation for social media strategy. Over to you.
Yeah, quite a deep analysis on the social listening there, Salome. At this moment, we're going to deep down relate the social listening as the foundation to the media, which we know that it will actually help improve and develop their marketing strategies and enhance their customer services. For the media campaign of Starbucks, the goal here basically is actually to increase the positive sentiments around the promoting of gluten-free options. If you look at this, just based on what Salome said on the recommendation in terms of the gluten-free impression, because there was an impression that gathered a momentum of about 1,705, according to Sarah, based on the gluten-free diets. So this indicates that there's a strong interest on gluten-free diet. So they are leveraging on this particular tea will actually create the momentum that they need and the engagement that they need on the socials. And that's why flyers are being made on the different variants and being distributed by Starbucks and the different menus that they can actually benefit from this. And there's even the vegan diet, which is almost like different fragrance that can appeal to different sets of people. And the objectives are actually stated there. We want an engagement of about 20% within some few months, 15% foot traffic, and also using these dietary restrictions to actually gather more momentum and also engagement of audience. On the social media campaign, of course, just like she delved into the target audience, we have men that are predominantly Gen Z and the millennials, both in the primary and secondary, and we're looking at the gluten-free diet and also taking in cognizance of those that are not those that are not familiar or in terms with gluten-free diet. And of course, key performance indications are very necessary to actually analyze how they are doing in terms of different socials that they run, in terms of engagement, increase, and the rest of them. And this the most important one is the strategy we are going to use, which is using hashtags like, for everyone and also for free, gluten-free at Starbucks, trying to emphasize the fact that even if you are not on that gluten-free diet, you are still part of the campaign. So this is being posted in all their socials so that it can promote the campaign and engage more audience. And platform strategies actually helps us emphasize on when, then the frequencies of when is the best time they need to make their posting so that people can engage. And like you're seeing here, we have the Twitter, we have the Instagram and the Facebook, and the target audience that relate mostly at that period. And the time based on Brandwatch data, according to what Salome said on the social selling, we have the best days of Wednesdays and Tuesdays for posting their comments that would engage more audience, and the best timing as well, which is also stated as 1 a.m. and also from 11 to 2 p.m. And monitoring and engagement, this strategy is not far-fetched. If you are doing something, you have to measure it so that you can actually determine your ROI. They are all stated here. We are measuring based on analytics and also metrics. And also down there, we are measuring based on audience engagement strategy, which is actually tied. The audience engagement strategy is tied to the engagement metrics, because without the audience, we cannot actually grow as a company. So we have the comments, direct messages, community engagement in terms of what they're doing with the community and how they're supporting the community, and hashtags, which is a very vital element on social media platforms. Then in terms of Tim Hortons, the goal here is basically to reduce the negative statement surrounding the hygienic way or unhygienic way that they are disposing their cups. So here, for a social media strategy, we are trying to actually clean up and address the issue, the post that was made, in terms of them generating about 4,568 impressions, which actually indicates a strong interest on that. And that is actually a negative one. So they are trying to actually clean up and address that. And objectives here is improve brand reputation, because it's already more or less like a damaging part of their brand. So they need to actually correct that. Also user engagement with brand related stories, so that the stories can actually relate to the way they are improving their brands. Proper disposal of those cups, just like Salome mentioned there, we have also some disposable packs that they can actually drop those cups in, and in different places and bus stops where they can actually drop those cups to engage the audience and to show that they're actually listening to what people are saying. Their campaign, their target audience, like we said, like she mentioned also in the social selling, is men, male, Gen Zs, within the ranges of the 18 to 35, who value environmental hygiene. And we can also see from here the the packs, where it says, which says, forget your reusable cups. It's to emphasize and to align with what the mentions and what the discuss that their audiences are actually targeting on. So this is like a corrective measures on what is happening and what the people are saying on the socials. And to measure that, we have 15% increase in positive sentiments, because we are actually doing what the people want, 20% engagement rate, and also 50,000 hashtag uses. And using these hashtags like time goes green is just to emphasize the ecosystem, making sure that the ecosystem remains neat as the people want it. And Tim Hortons goes green as well. This is being distributed as hashtags, as barcodes, you know, that would actually sensitize people, go back to people's phone and sensitize them on the need to trash these things in the ideal way. And the platform strategy, just like Starbucks, we are looking at the frequencies and the best time for posting on socials so that you can generate the kind of audience and the kind of engagement that they need to grow. So they are stated here, like the Starbucks as well. And based on what we actually analyzed from brand rich data, they are the Twitter, the Instagram, and in addition here, we have the online platform as well for news, whereby they can do intermittently, they can come in and make the advertisements. Then the timing based according to Brandwatch data is Wednesdays and Thursdays, and the best timings are also slated down there. And finally,
we can continue.
At this junction, I would, for the monitoring and engagement strategy, we also look at the analytics and metrics in terms of engagement, how many people are following them and all the rest. I leave at this point, it moves to Esther to deep dive on influencer marketing.
For the influencer marketing as an extension of social media strategy, this slide highlights the influencer marketing as a major extension of the social media strategy. It tells us the importance of choosing the right influencers who aligns with the brand values and have a strong connection with the target audience. Our goal is to utilize the influencers' reach to increase brand visibility, credibility, and engagement. Influencer marketing for Starbucks. This slide shows a list of specific influencers targeted for Starbucks. Based on this, we were able to suggest Starbucks partner with influencers like at @TPostMillennial, who has a significant number of followers and is also a top poster on Brandwatch for Starbucks. We would also recommend collaborating with Sarah Howell, a GF blogger, who has previously made a post about gluten-free option at Starbucks. Partnering with these influencers will help us boost positive sentiments towards Starbucks and position the brand as one that caters to a variety of dietary needs. Influencer marketing for Tim Hortons. This slide shows the influencer marketing strategies for Tim Hortons. We targeted a few influencers with a strong connection to Canadian culture. Based on this, we're able to recommend partnering with a Toronto Star, an influential news platform with a large number of following, about 1 million followers across Canada, and is also a top poster for Tim Hortons on Brandwatch. And Adidis Nuts, who raised concern about waste disposal. Reason being that we want these influencers to help improve Tim Hortons' brand perception and address the environmental concerns. For the outreach plan and negotiation strategies, so we're able to come up with a detailed plan for both Starbucks and Tim Hortons influencing marketers, marketing strategy, outreach, and negotiation. We suggest a personalized outreach to influencers, expressing genuine appreciation for their work and explaining why the brand believes the partnership will be a great fit, while clearly outlining the campaign value proposition, more like what the brand offers. Before reaching out, there must have been a plan to engage with their content beforehand to build a rapport and also a plan to invite the influencers to experience the brand unique first-hand experience, like behind the scene tour of Starbucks facility or an invitation to Tim Hortons community events. While the brand emphasized the importance of establishing a clear goals and objective with influencers, it would also discuss the compensation as well to ensure a smooth and successful partnership. Conclusion. So based on the insight from Brandwatch, there is a need to address the importance of social listening as the foundation of any successful social media and influencer marketing strategy. It shows how actively analyzing and monitoring conversation can help brands align their strategies with consumer sentiments, stay ahead of trends, and engage effectively with their audience. We believe both Starbucks and Tim Hortons can adhere to the recommended strategies that we've come up with. The brand should expect to see increased brand loyalty, market share, and online visibility. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.